Hi, my name's David Bowers. I'm the Tinplate cataloguer here at Vectis Auctions on Teesside in the United Kingdom. Once again, we've got another excellent Tinplate sale coming up. Besides the ones on the 16th and 22nd of June, the one I'm going to talk about today is the 22nd of July. In this sale, again, it's the usual flavour of transport-related vehicles, novelty, games and so on. We've got some nice German tinplate, some very nice Japanese tinplate, some Meccano constructor aeroplanes from the pre-war era. But there are two items in particular that are very rare and I'd like to share them with you. The first one, for the racing car enthusiasts, is this very large model of a Ferrari racing car from 1952. This racing car, whilst it looks like a toy and it could be used as a toy, is constructed from cast aluminium. But the difference is this was made for a purpose before it was used as a toy. It was produced by a toy company called Marchesini in Italy in 1952, and it was produced on behalf of a very well-known company that distilled liqueurs called Toschi, that's T-O-S-C-H-I. And in 1952, the company was about 7 years old then, and they were celebrating one of the racing drivers from that period, an Italian racing driver, who kept winning the Formula One racing. Since then, one or two other racing drivers got in on the act, and the famous one from the 50s, Fangio for example, was also presented with one of these cars. And the reason it was presented to him was, inside here there would have been a bottle of liqueur, and on the inside of the car, in the cockpit, there would be a small bottle of cherries, a basket of cherries there. It will be presented to the racing drivers, certain celebrities and certain people within the company. And that happened during the period of 1952 to 53. I don't know how many have been produced, but I think you'll agree it can't have been very many. It's only the second one that Vectis Auctions have had. And if we don't see many of a particular type of toy, it must be quite rare. The last time we saw one was in the beginnings of the company in about 25 years ago. But that is the Ferrari liqueur container. This one is in quite good original condition. There are one or two replacement parts and minor details missing and a bit of touching in on the bodywork, but we can forgive that if it's been a toy that's been around that long, and there aren't many about. Interestingly, inside the mechanism can have an elastic band added, and the child could wind it up by this little spigot at the front that's sticking out, and it would power itself along, driven by the back wheels. So that's the first rare item. The second rare item will appeal to many collectors worldwide. We have a great deal of different types of toy here at Vectis, and one of the sales I get involved with quite a lot is the robots and space toys. Some sales get a mixture, and this one's no exception, and I'd like to hand you over to our star of the week. This gentleman, or some would say lady, is Lavender Robot. It was introduced by a toy company called Subbuteo, or Modern Toys as you may know it, in 1959. And this was at a period when tinplate battery operated robots produced in Japan was at their zenith. And into the 60s, that was known as the golden era. Amongst collectors, there are 5 very rare ones. One of them is Lavender Robot, also known as Lavender Non-Stop Robot, and here he is. I say he could be a lady because of its shape, some collectors have referred to it as the Lady Robot, but Lavender Robot is what it's most commonly known as. It's dated from 1959, as I say. It's about roughly 14 inches high. It's battery operated. Underneath, we don't test them, but it has a very clean battery compartment. There's a mystery action underneath, so when it starts operating with this toggle switch at the front, it will travel around using a circular motion. This one has been owned by the vendor from new, which is a nice feature when they've not been on the collector's circuit. So if you get this, it's only its second own. And a possible problem is that I'll be honest with you, the head is loose. It's attached, but it's loose. I would leave it exactly as it is, because on display it looks fine. But some people might just have the trouble of having it professionally vended, but I'd leave it as it is. We were discussing this before, and there are a lot of reproduction models of these rare robots these days, and some of them are very good, very realistic. So how do you tell the real thing from a reproduction one? And the way I tell, one way anyway, is you won't be able to see it from there, but with any Tinplate toy of any age, so 50s and 60s, if you look in the light at the paintwork, you'll see a very fine spidering effect in the paint. That's quite normal, and it's caused by contraction and expansion of the metal with the paint stuck to it over such a long period of time, and that's a dead giveaway. Also, I've spoken to the guy who entrusted it to us to sell, so you know a bit about the history. So that's a very rare one. The estimate on the robot is £1,200 to £1,600, and the estimate, by the way, on the racing car is £500 to £700. But two nice items, well worth having in the collection. Thank you very much.